Honestly, like, I don't even have a witty opening for this episode review, except this episode was trash! So this is episode 5 of The Mandalorian, entitled The Gunslinger, and it was written and directed by Dave Filoni, who is the brainchild behind the Star Wars Clone Wars animated series, and I really love that series. I gotta catch up, actually, because there's a couple episodes that I haven't seen, and I know Disney Plus is bringing it back for new episodes. And I will be talking spoilers, so if you have not seen episode 5 of The Mandalorian, go watch it and come back. Or if you don't care about spoilers, keep watching. And I mean, my review for this episode isn't as dramatic as the opener for this video. Like, I really don't think the episode was trash. I mean, there were some good things about this episode. Specifically, I really enjoyed like the opening 2 or 3 minutes of this episode between the Mandalorian and a bounty hunter from the guild. The space fight that was happening between them, it looked great, it was shot great. Like, everything about that opening scene I enjoyed. I was here for it, and I thought I was going to be in for a great episode. But then you got to the rest of the episode, and I don't know, like, I felt like this episode was mostly just a bunch of fan service, because I feel like they try to sell the Mandalorian on the fact that this is going to be a brand new segment of the Star Wars universe. It's going to be worlds and characters and adventures you've never seen before. But then you get to this episode and they're taking you to Tatooine, and it's like, why are we even going to Tatooine? It seems like this episode is trying to go, hey guys, remember Tatooine? Luke is from Tatooine and Anakin's from Tatooine. You know this place, right? Hey, look, there's Tusken Raiders. And it was like, come on, we've been here before. We've seen this world before. Like, I think I said this in my review for the first episode. How many desert planets are we going to go to in the Star Wars universe? The world that they showed us in the last episode, and even episodes prior to this, they were new, they were different, they were exciting. They brought new things to the Star Wars canon and universe. In this episode, it was the same old in the fact that it's Tatooine. We've seen it before. We know Tatooine from the prequels and the original trilogy. And once he lands on Tatooine, you meet the character of Mos Eisley, who I believe she had an introduction in the books, but I don't read the books. And I enjoyed her character. I enjoyed the little bit that we've seen from her. She was a quirky character. She fit in the Star Wars universe. But then you get to another character that, I don't know, something about him just seemed out of place. His name is Toro, and he is a person trying to join the Bounty Hunter Guild. I get that he's a doe-eyed person trying to join the guild, and he's young, he's naive, but something about him just seemed off. Like, he seemed out of place in the Star Wars universe. He's honestly, while I was watching it, I was like, this is probably somebody's nephew on set getting his first acting job, and he's just there out of nepotism. I don't really care for the character. I don't really care for his acting. Like, I just didn't like him at all. Now granted, I haven't looked at his IMDb page. I don't know if this is the first role that this actor has ever had, and if it is his first role, I'm not shitting on him for being on the set of Star Wars. Like, if it's his first role, I congratulate him. He's on the set of a Star Wars property, like, congratulations. I'm not on the set of a Star Wars property. It's just the character and the way he portrayed this character. Like, I don't know, I just didn't like it. But who knows, maybe if I saw him in a different role, I may love him. And when you get to the latter half of the episode, this character was inconsequential. He was in this episode just to die. And ultimately, that's the biggest issue that I have with this episode. This entire episode felt inconsequential. And I've enjoyed pretty much every single episode of The Mandalorian up until this point. I heard a lot of people make the argument that they felt the last episode was filler. I didn't think the last episode was filler. And I enjoyed the last episode. I just mentioned I enjoyed every single episode up until this point. But this episode, I feel, was straight filler. This episode didn't really add anything to the Mandalorian mythos, to the Mandalorian character. Like, you got last episode, you got a lot of emotional growth, a lot of emotional development from the Mandalorian with his relationship with Cara Dune, and you got introduced to a character, Cara Dune, a character that you know is going to show up in future episodes. And again, you got emotional growth between him and Omera. You got to see more emotional growth and character development between him and Baby Yoda. You learned a little bit more about his backstory, and that they actually verbalized that he can't take off his armor in front of people. And the last time he took off his armor was when he was a child. Like, you learn all of that stuff from the last episode, but in this episode, you don't learn anything. You learn nothing about the Mandalorian himself. You learn nothing about what his mission is. Like, where is he going? Like, is he going somewhere specific, or is he just jumping from planet to planet? What's his end game? For this to be episode 5, and there are only 3 more episodes left, you still don't even know what his end game is. What's his plan? How is he going to escape the guild? Are the remnants of the Empire after him because they wanted Baby Yoda and now he has them? Like, what's going on? What's the overall plot of this season? And finally, this episode introduced Ming-Na Wen, who most people know as the voice of Mulan, and she was Agent May in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I love Ming-Na Wen. And they did her dirty as hell in this episode. You mean to tell me me you introduced Ming-Na Wen only to kill her in the same episode that you introduced her? I hope by the end of this episode where they had the mysterious character show up at the end, approach her body, that he has some type of power to revive her, or maybe she's not actually dead. I hope she's not actually dead. Now granted, I know she's still doing the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so she probably can't commit to more episodes, but come on, this is Ming-Na Wen we're talking about. You don't do Ming-Na Wen dirty like that. But yeah, as you can tell, I just really didn't care for this episode. Like, I didn't hate it, but I feel like this episode's entire purpose was to tease whoever this person was that they showed at the end. If it was another Mandalorian, maybe tracking him, or somebody else, I don't know, but that's really the point of this episode. That seemed like the point of this episode, but I feel like they could have done that in an entirely different way. Maybe have that person spying on him throughout the episode or something. I don't know, but yeah, I don't even know what else to say about this episode except, yeah, I didn't really like it that much. So my rating for The Mandalorian episode 5 would be, it barely broke even. And it's bordering on being a straight miss. So anyway, have you seen this episode of Mandalorian? What did you think about it? Maybe you disagree with me and love this episode. Let me know down in the comment section below and let's have a conversation. Also, if you can, hit that thumbs up button and like this video. It'll really help out the channel. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, please check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, please subscribe for more and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time, and may the Force be with you.